Alright, hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. My name is Mark Roden, and in today's video we are going to be going over... Oh man, this car's coming that way. We're doing another one of the marking, driving, and talking, and filming and bilming types of videos, man. You know what I'm saying? That's a nice truck. I like that truck. Uh-oh. Oh, yep, that hurt. That one hurt. I feel like my car's getting lower somehow, even though I've had the coilovers on it for like a year at this point. It like bangs off of things that it used to never bang off of. But anyway, today we're gonna go over 5 ways to get into the car community. The reason why it's only 5 and not like my typical number like 10 is because I'm gonna go into pretty good detail with each one of these, so it's gonna take a little bit longer to talk about each one. But yeah, as somebody that, you know, got into the car community at birth, pretty much, because my dad has always loved cars, so he's always just taught me everything there is to know about cars. And so therefore I just kind of grew up around them and stuff like that. I can understand where other people are coming from, where it's like, what if you don't have that? You know, what if you don't have a dad who cares about cars or friends that care about cars? How do you learn about them? How do you figure all this stuff out in order to, you know, insert yourself into the car community? So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna talk about it's not really just how to get into the car community, but more or less how to become a car guy. You know what I mean? How to become a car enthusiast. So number 5, and this is obvious for any sort of hobby that you're trying to pick up, is plenty of research. I don't think people understand. Like, dude, they're cars. It's not rocket science. You can figure this stuff out on your own just by searching on Google random things. All my videos, every like fact that I tell you guys about cars, whether they're right or wrong, I get from the internet. You know what I mean? Like I didn't. My dad doesn't care about BMWs. My dad doesn't care about Acuras. He's a muscle car guy, so he never told me any facts about those cars. I just learned them all from the internet, you know. And it's just it's any real hobby that you're trying to get into. Just, you gotta do research. I feel like people massively underestimate that. They watch like a couple YouTube videos and they think they're an expert on it. And oh my god, when it comes to like health, like a human being's health, they're the worst, dude. There are so many like people who think they're doctors online. Oh my god, just because they watch, it's awful. But you just gotta, you know, get some reputable sources, find something that you believe and is true. I know it sounds crazy, but Wikipedia actually does have a pretty decent track record, in my opinion, of getting their facts straight when it comes to cars. And so just you know, just figure things out. If you care about a car, if you're going to buy a car, if you want a car or whatever, look it up, do some research on it, figure it out first. What engine does it come with, all that stuff. And after a while, you're going to start picking up on certain things. You're going to start realizing certain things. At this point, when I see a car drive by, I can almost accurately guess the exact engine size that car has, because I've been looking at so many cars, and I just know stuff about that, you know. And it's all due to research. So just do plenty of research. Don't think that you're going to be able to become a car guy just by watching random things. But that does lead me into my next point, and the next way to get into the car culture, to make yourself a car guy, whatever, and that is pop culture. Dude, yes, the research is necessary, but I think this is just as necessary. Not to teach you about things, but to get you hooked. Where like I would say, after watching pop culture on cars, whether it's Fast and Furious, a YouTube video of like some cars doing cool stuffs, or a Need for Speed, like playing a video game, which is technically pop culture. I know it's not the right word to use, pop culture, but I just meant like media, you know, stuff like that. Consume entertainment about cars. If you do all that, dude, it's gonna make you really like them, obviously, because they're very cool. And I know a lot of people out there, like this Tesla in front of me, probably hates the fact that people drive loud, cool cars and they get angry about it. But I think the majority of people would agree that cars are cool. And so don't worry, man. It won't take that long to get yourself hooked on it if you watch some pop culture. And then after that is when you get to do your research, you know. If you watch Fast and Furious and you really liked Paul Walker's Supra in Fast and Furious, and you're like, I want to know more about that car, then you do your research. But the pop culture or the media, whatever you want to call it, that's there to hype you up. You know, that's like your pre-game speech. It's just that my friend usually works at this gas station. I want to check if he's there. That's a nice Honda though, a nice little Civic. But he's not there. Horse. But yeah, no, just, you know, watch some pop culture, man. Get yourself entertained. Because if you're not entertained with like cars, you're just gonna fall out of it immediately. You know, you're not gonna care about it at all. But anyway, the third thing, this is obvious to get yourself into the car community, is friends. It's pals, it's buddies, it's comrades, it's compadres. It's whatever you want to call them. It is your friends. They will help you, bro. If you have car guy friends. Now, if you don't have car guy friends, obviously you're kind of out of luck there. That's why I put it here at third place, because I understand that not everybody out there is going to have car guy friends. I personally didn't really have that many car guy friends growing up, and I still really don't have that many car guy friends. Like, I got friends who, like that guy at the gas station I was just talking about, he's not a car guy at all. He drives a Jeep Renegade, and he couldn't care less about cars. He thinks it's stupid that I lowered my car. He would never understand why I would spend the amount of money I do on my cars, because they don't care about cars. Almost none of my friends actually really care about cars. But if you're really looking to get into it and you have a car guy friend, go to them. I have a friend, he's been my best friend actually since 3rd grade. His name is Quentin, so shout out Quentin. Big guy there. He's a big jacked up dude. He's got freaking muscles, but he's never really cared too much about cars, right? It's never really been a big priority to him. But recently, after, I don't know if it's been after like seeing my cars, or after he just, you know, grew up a little bit and realized, I want something, I want to have a cool car. He's been really getting into cars. He's been learning about them more, and so he comes to me and he asks me questions, and he asks me for advice and stuff like that. And before you think like, oh, your car guy friends don't want you asking them for advice, that is the opposite. Dude, we like that. It's fun. We don't like some random dude asking it. Like, if this cow over here came up to me and was like, hey, what car should I buy for under 5K? I would probably freak out a little bit that a cow is speaking English, but then after that I would be like, dude, just go away. Like, I don't want to tell you about, you know, like I do that all the time on the internet. I don't want to do it even more. But if somebody if my friend comes up to me and is like, hey man, I need help buying a car, dude, I am there. I am there. If I have been spending my whole life caring about cars, and now you come up to me and you ask me for advice on cars, that's like the whole point. When my sisters do it, like I have 2 sisters, and if they ever ask me for advice about cars, usually they go to my dad first, but if they come to me after, dude, I'm there. I am there. It makes us feel good. It makes us feel wanted and needed, and it's a good thing. Do not feel like you're gonna, you know, make them annoyed if you ask your car guy friends for some help getting into the car community. If they get you into the car community and you start going to car meets with them and start modifying cars with them, going on cruises with them, you buy your own cool car, and then you guys can hang out with your cool cars together, that's awesome. That's like our dream. That's like our goal, to have our non-car guy friends also like cars. That would be just sick. Imagine. So don't worry, man. You don't have anything to worry about. Ask your car guy friends for some help. They'll get you started. If you don't have any car guy friends, but you have somebody in your family that likes cars, same thing there, you know, just ask them. Make sure you remember though that people are biased. It's human nature. I do it, everybody does it. So when you are listening to some of their advice, just take it with a grain of salt. Do your own research. That's why it's there, you know. Do your own research, because if that guy, that's a BMW 5 Series, it's the E60. If that was an M5, it's not the M5, but if it was the M5, the motor in it is incredibly unreliable. The internet will tell you, everybody out there will agree that the motor on those E60 M5s is incredibly unreliable, but it's really cool. It's a V10 that makes 500 horsepower. So what's gonna, like, what if you go up to your friend and you ask him for advice on this car, and he really likes that E60 M5? He might try and downplay it and be like, yeah, it's a little unreliable, but it's good. But in reality, it's really unreliable. It's just that he likes that car, so he's gonna, you know, hype it up a little bit more than what it's worth. So just take everything with a grain of salt, but definitely go ask your friends for some help and stuff like that. Second thing, the second biggest advice I can give to somebody that's looking to get into the car community is events. Every event that you can possibly find, go to it. Dude, you're not going to be freaking interrogated at an event. I feel like people are scared that they're going to show up and people are going to be able to realize that they're not a car guy, and so they're going to be like judging them. That's not the case, bro. First of all, even if we do realize that, we don't care. As long as you don't act like you know what you're talking about and actively go around being like, oh yeah, my car has a quad turbocharged Z8. I got a Z8 quad turbo in my Audi A4. Then we don't, if you don't do that, we don't care. We're here to help. Again, you go up to these events, there is going to be so many people there that are going to want to teach you things, that are going to want to give you advice and help you out. Literally, I've gone up to so many people at events and been like, dude, I'm sorry, I don't know anything about these cars, but I think they're really cool. Like, what is this thing? He tells me all about it. especially older people. If you go up to like an older guy at an event, not even an older guy, just like a mature guy, you know, like somebody like in their 30s or 40s. If you go up to like just a mature adult and you ask him about his car, or if you're at like a racetrack, you know, and you ask them for like what's going on, you know, type of thing, like about motorsports, dude, they want to help. They love that. They freaking love it. So don't feel ashamed to ask to go to an event just because you don't know about cars. They're not gonna care. And on top of that, if you can go there for a couple times, eventually you're gonna get out of your comfort zone. You're gonna start asking questions to these guys, and you're gonna learn more from actual people that have actual experience in the field that you're looking to get into. It's like if you're trying to go for a job as a welder. You're not gonna go to the welding company as an apprentice and be like, hey guys, I know everything there is to know about welding, even though I'm an apprentice, so you don't have to give me any advice. No, you're gonna obviously be getting a lot of help from the master welders or whatever. You know, it's the same thing with cars. Same thing. They're there to help you. And it's not like their job, sure, and I'm sure there's gonna be like one or two a-holes that are just gonna be like so up on their high horse and be like, I'm better than you. I have a BMW M4, bro. Like, I don't gotta talk to you, peasant. But most of us are gonna be like, hey, you like cars? And they're gonna be like, yeah, man, I want to learn. And we're gonna freaking be ecstatic to that we're getting a new car guy hooked. It's amazing. But anyway, the biggest thing, the biggest tip, the #1 way to get into the car community, in my opinion, and I know this is gonna sound crazy, but hear me out, is to just buy a cheap car. I would highly recommend a cheap Honda. The reason why I say Honda over other cars is because they're reliable as hell, but they're still dirt cheap. But they're also can be tuners. You can have fun and modify those and make them cool, cooler at least than an average car. Okay, that guy was just, I was staring at that guy really weird there. That was, we were like making awkward eye contact the whole time. But yeah, no, you buy like a cheap $2,000. I know it's not that cheap, but it is in the long run. In the grand scheme of things, $2K for a car is not that much. But you buy like a car, even if you don't want to buy a Honda, if you're really on a budget, dude, you can find like a Camry for like $500. Just buy something. It opens up so many doors. Whether it's driving to go to these events, you don't have to ask your parents for rides anymore. Whether it's going and figuring something out with that car, if you want to build it, or if you want to just turn it into a daily driver and save your money and get a job, and so you can buy the car that you actually want to. There's just so many things that you could do when you actually have a car. Like, I know it sucks because, you know, it is the most expensive option on this list. Obviously, most of the other things you could just do passively or just do it if you have a computer, but with a car you actually have to, you know, put money into that to it's an investment, you know, it's an investment, but it's obviously heavily worth it. And the reason why I say, again, the reason why I say a cheap Honda over like that Hyundai Elantra is because even though the Hyundai Elantra is not a bad car, I'm not saying like that lady's an idiot for buying it. This Civic right here is going to be a lot more fun for you. That's a nice ST, I like that, man, that's clean. But yeah, no, like that Civic back there, that 9th gen Civic, is just going to be more fun. Now, you're not going to buy a 9th gen Civic for cheap because those are still pretty expensive, but like something like an 8th gen Civic, a 7th gen Civics are dirt cheap right now. You buy one of those, it's got a fun motor to build, it has tons of aftermarket parts on it, it's incredibly easy to work on too, so you can learn all the basics without stressing yourself out. And so you can learn how to work on these cars, how to build these cars, and then you can take your car, which you're probably going to be proud of, to events and things like that, and on your own time, and not have to like ask your parents or friends for rides or whatever. And it's just gonna obviously open a lot more doors. It's like, it's everything in life, really, honestly. You get the most amount of experience if you just do it. It doesn't matter if you I'm sitting here by the way because I'm going inside, but it doesn't matter how much research you do on something. You're never gonna learn 100% of the things unless you just freaking do it. You know, it's like you could sit there looking up how to surf for 500 hours in a freaking year and learn everything that there is about surfing. You learn more about actual surfers. You learn more than the actual surfers do, but then the second you step on that surfboard, you're not going to know what you're doing because you've never actually done it before. It's the same thing with cars. So sadly, I know it sucks because again, it's the most expensive option on this list, but if you really want to get into cars, you really want to be a car guy, get into the car community, you need to get a car. And do not worry about buying, like this car right here that's about to pass. That's a clean Subaru. Look at that thing. That thing's nice. I like that a lot. That's a really nice Subaru. And yeah, it's expensive, but you don't need that right out of the gate. That guy's probably in his mid-20s, probably worked hard for that car. He's probably super proud of that car, but he probably started just like you with something cheaper on the low end side. Even something like this is a Mazda 3. It's not even a Mazda Speed 3. It's just a Mazda 3. You buy something like that, man. Those can be fun. Those can be cool little cars. You can have fun with that thing. So just go out there, buy yourself a car, have fun. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It's so awkward. I'm just sitting here at like, people are looking at me through the red light, just staring at me. So I'm gonna go. But thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you learned something. I hope this makes you want to get into the car community just a tad bit more. If it doesn't, well then I failed, and you should unsubscribe from this channel. I'm sad. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I love it. Each and every one of you. Das Vidania, and have a nice night.